Bois Forte is located an hour south of the Canadian border.
It's a very tight-knit community. We always look out for each other. We always are concerned for each other. It's a small town, so everybody knows each other, and so that's what makes it easy to be a close-knit community. So Bois Forte is actually 2 districts. There's about 350 people in the Nett Lake district of Bois Forte, and there are about 300 to 400 people in the Vermilion side of Bois Forte. They are about an hour away from each other.
We have a lot of patients that have diabetes. A lot of our patients don't have vehicles to get to their appointments or to get to town to get good food, healthier food, plus that food is more expensive as well. So the impact for them is great.
Historical trauma to me shows up in a lot of ways in present day, so I think that it's our relationships to ourselves, our relationships to our families, to food. So I think the sense of shame and guilt that comes along with trying to reconnect to these things that are inherently ours and things that were intentionally taken away by the government. Whenever we try to reconnect with those things, you feel that sense from your ancestors, these things that are inherently in our blood, that trauma that happened to our people for trying to do those things, and we're trying to be who we are, so now we're refilling that hurt that exists beyond our own hurt, and it's through our family, it's through our bloodline, so it's hard and it's complicated.
I feel like my work is important in Bois Forte because we need to reverse the way things have been bestowed upon us, if so to speak. We weren't always dealt the best cards when, in the past, and so now we have to turn around and look at food differently so that we can learn how to put the right things into our body, and we can, eat how we're supposed to eat, and, even go as far as to say, eat the way that we used to eat when we were, before we were colonized and all of that stuff. So that's why it feels like it's important to me.
CGMs, our continuous glucose monitors, have been really impactful to our community. So we have probably 70 patients on them now, and we're able to monitor them from the hospital or from the clinic. I can look on my computer and see how they're doing, check daily. They don't have to come in. So I can just look and say, oh, they've been running high. Let's see what we need to change in their medications, or talk to the provider, or we're like, well, we need to get them in. As well as checking their sugars. I mean, it's cumbersome to take all that equipment with you and take it out, poke your finger, read it and stuff like that, especially if you're at a restaurant or you're not at home. We have one that, since they started to use the CGM, they've brought their A1C down 6% in 4 months, and they've lost 13 pounds over about a year now. And we have another one that brought their A1C down 8% over a year. Yeah, so that's really, really big. The impact is tremendous.
So the 13 Moons curriculum is a curriculum that we use to teach our youth about Native American traditional foods. It's a nutrition education curriculum based on traditional foods, right? So you use things like cranberries a lot, you use wild rice a lot. They talk a lot about the Three Sisters Garden, which is, corn, beans, and squash that are always planted together, and that was something that was really prevalent in gardening, back in the day, in the past when we would garden. This is nutrition that I feel is important for these kids, because this is one of the first steps we can take in educating our kids in how to harvest these foods and do these things to eat healthier and, teach their kids when they get older.
I want us to have control of our food system, and I want everyone to have the opportunity to contribute to the community, whether it is fresh produce from their garden or, deer meat from last night's hunt. I want to bring a sense of togetherness within the community. The Traditional Foods First social marketing campaign was the first project that I did in collaboration with our tribal ship coordinator. The social marketing campaign just brings awareness to those edible plants that are in the wild. So I decided to wrap our Big Woods transit buses. I wrapped 4 of them in the theme of the seasons. It informs the reader about the nutritional value of the plant and then also how to harvest it. So we have a really good following on our Facebook page, and this is where we advertise for all our classes or events. This is where we do our cooking demos, our live cooking demos, and I also want this to be a place where people can share their recipes or share their knowledge of cooking or gardening as well. So the community food shelf was created during the pandemic. This is our second year open. We serve everyone, not just band members. And so we offer traditional foods like ground bison, red lake walleye, wild rice. Everything is there as far as you're getting your fruits and vegetables, you're getting your protein, you're getting your grains, you're getting ingredients that can help you cook and bake.
This impact will affect our generations to come, because if we teach our youth now to start eating healthy, they will teach that to their kids, and then their kids will teach that to their kids.
Our common goal is, trying to bring our community together, reverse the cycle of diabetes. Well, actually, the fitness center in Nut Lake, Native Hearts Fitness Center, opened up in 2004. And it started out with just 2 treadmills, 2 arc trainers, and some Cybex weight stations, And now, as of 2022, we've added 5 treadmills, we have 2 arc trainers, 2 ellipticals. So, we really have expanded our fitness centers in both places. And our Vermilion Wellness Center, too, was established in 2006. We've done plank challenges, we've done walking challenges, we've done running challenges, and for the most part, we have a pretty good amount of people that have seen results. They've either improved their blood pressure or their A1C, or lost some inches around their waist. So the wild rice, we, myself and a colleague, we were cooking for the elderly nutrition program, and so we worked it into our work plan to go get some wild rice for them to have, so they could have rice throughout the year. And then we also incorporated that as our older youth going out and getting wild rice for that project. And then we also tied it in with our elementary program to have a couple days where we go out and gather wild rice. And once we get about 80 to 100 pounds, and we'll take that rice back to the rice camp and parch it up. It's just a good feeling, knowing that we're here to help our community. We knew that it was going to take us some time, and slowly, we're getting more and more people participating and want to make this change.
I feel like the work that we're doing now will impact the future, because we're making awareness more better for the youth, and to make it forefront for them to start making changes now, and also for the adults to help lower their costs of medications, of doctor bills, of travel, just trying to get to these appointments, and make them more accountable for their situation.
In the long run, if it ever came down to somebody even saying, you helped me eat better, you helped me feel better, you helped me realize that we need to stop eating so horribly, then that would be the high for me. That is what makes my ticker tick. You know, and that's what makes me feel like the job that I'm doing is actually making any impact in this community.